guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. All this history would begin after the Tournament of Power ended. A few months had already passed in which everything was peace and harmony in all the universes. Meanwhile on planet Earth, there were all the friends of Goku in Bulma's house, where they would be surprised to see Goku. It seems like a miracle to me. You haven't trained for more than a month. Why is all this? Bulma is right, Kakarot. Not because you have reached Ultra Instinct. You should stay at that level. We Saiyans have no limits. No, Vegeta. Of course I won't stop training. Only this month I dedicate to my family. But just tomorrow, Mr. Whis is coming to go train on his planet. Do you want to come, Vegeta? Of course I'll go, Insect. I'm not going to stay behind your power. You guys don't change. I hope you become the most powerful beings in all the universes. All that night he would spend normally on planet Earth. The next day, Whis would pick up Goku and Vegeta to take them to the planet of Mr. Beerus. At the moment they arrived, Beerus felt their key and, a little annoyed, he approached Whis. Hey Whis, why are you supposed to bring them? I was just going to take my nap and this is very important to me. I'm sorry, Sir Beerus. I thought that not seeing them for a few months would make you happy to train with them. Okay, I'll also join the training with them, but don't hold me responsible if they die trying. Don't say that, Mr. Beerus. We've become very powerful. The next day on the planet of the god Beerus, the three powerful warriors were fighting around the entire planet. However, not even fighting together, they were able to defeat Beerus. Stop! That's all for now. You should rest so your progress isn't affected. Everyone would go to the castle of Lord Beerus. However, at that moment, Goku would give a smile. Mr. Beerus, what do you think if we tell the great Zeno-Sama to hold another tournament? What? No, don't even think about it. On that occasion, all the universes were about to be eliminated. Of course we won't do it again. Mr. Goku, that doesn't seem like a good idea to me, since Mr. Beerus is right. Don't worry, I'm thinking of talking to Zen-chan, so no universe is in danger. Only those who are participating. Still no. If one of those universes loses, it will also be eliminated. No, Mr. Beerus. They'll just have to do a penance or something. But don't delete their universe. Please, Mr. Beerus. You don't seem like a bad idea to me. To remeasure the level of all the participants. What do you think, Mr. Vegeta? Vegeta, who hadn't said anything in the entire conversation, would put on a serious look. It also seems like an excellent idea to me. But if Mr. Beerus doesn't agree, I respect it. Do what you want, but if the universe is eliminated one way or another, I'll kill you myself. Okay, Mr. Beerus, don't worry, we'll win. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Zeno-Sama and Daishenkin were talking with two supreme gods from other worlds. One of them was the god Akumo and the goddess Leviathan. However, from one moment to the next, a loud noise makes us shudder. The king's palace of everything, one of the divine temples, had been destroyed. What happened? I can feel how the temple has been reduced to atoms. Great Zeno-Sama is right. I don't know what happened. I don't know who it is, but right now, I'll eliminate it. At that moment, Zeno-Sama's guardians would appear at the palace, bowing. Do you know who destroyed a divine temple? We have been great, Zeno-Sama. What happens was that a subject with a similar appearance to a demon had infiltrated such a temple, and if he did not extend his life beforehand, he would become a universal threat. The words of the Guardians had not been enough for the king to fully excuse them. That's right, Zeno-Sama was upset. I don't care what happened, but you're released from your position of Guardians until the temple is repaired, and you'll not be able to enter this palace again. Sorry, great Zeno-Sama. We'll do our best to return it to normal. At that time, God Akumo would give a laugh. Apparently, you have run out of your supreme guardians. Flashback, Akumo had planned everything before reaching the Kingdom of Everything, since he wanted to be a part of the divine kingdom of Zeno-Sama. However, he could not do it because there was not enough space. So he decided to eliminate his two guardians. And a flashback. You're right, Supreme God Akumo. Apparently, I've run out of guards. At that very moment, Whis and Goku would arrive. However, Goku would be a bit surprised to realize that Zeno-Sama was a bit upset, since he had never seen him in such a way. Well, apparently we have arrived at a very bad time. It will be better to leave. When they were about to leave, Zeno-Sama was able to feel the key of his friend Goku. Goku, how are you? We're planning to leave without saying hello?
I'm sorry, Zen-chan. I just wanted to ask you a question, but it could be another time since the situation seems to be a bit tricky.
Don't worry, Goku. Tell me what's going on.
Who is that mortal, and why does he speak so matter-of-factly to the King of All? From what I can tell, he is one of the characters that fought in the Tournament of Strength, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the most powerful mortal of the 12 universes. I just wanted to know, could you do another Tournament of Power again, but without you deleting the universes, please?
I have a better proposal for you. Whis would be intrigued to hear the king's words at all. What happens is that recently my guardians have destroyed a very valuable temple for which I banished them from in this place. Would you like to be my new guardian? Daisuke would be very surprised, as well as everyone present.
How could it be possible? That decides that a mere mortal is his guardian.
This is my best friend, and he's the most powerful mortal in the 12 universes. I know he could do it. Daisuke was a little pensive about everything that was happening. To be a guardian, Zeno-Sama, one must have the knowledge of some divine rules, and enough power to protect the king of all. It would say this.
I can't believe what you're telling me, Zen-chan. And do you think he can handle such an important position?
Of course, Goku. Daishinken will make sure that you have all the necessary knowledge for the position.
Okay, Zen-chan. I agree to be your new guardian.
Whis would put on a very serious look.
Mr. Goku, the position you have achieved is much higher position than that of us angels. You must behave with respect towards the supreme deities. I don't know the divine rules of these gods, so Daishinken-sama, can you provide you with more information? Okay, thank you very much. You shouldn't worry about me.
Whis would return quickly to the planet of the god Beerus to inform him of everything that had happened. When he had arrived, Beerus would be a little intrigued when he did not see Son Goku with him. What happened to Son Goku, Whis?
Mr. Beerus, Mr. Goku had achieved the position of guardian of Zeno-Sama.
Beerus would be very surprised by what he heard, since to be a guardian, they not only required physical strength, but also mental and spiritual strength, so as not to be corrupted by any evil being. How is it possible that even Kakarot insect had become a new guardian? Whis would explain everything that had happened with the Guardians, where Vegeta would still be in shock. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Zeno-Sama, the supreme gods had already left for their universes. However, the god Akumo left. He had been very upset, knowing that the mere mortal had taken his place.
So now I'm the guardian of Zeno-Sama.
Not yet. Don't think it'll be that easy. Your son Goku must pass some tests to be crowned guardian of Zeno-Sama. Goku would be very motivated by not knowing what these tests were. Daishinken would warn him that there would be few tests but very difficult, almost impossible. Don't scare him like that, Daishinken.
Don't worry, Zeno-Sama. I'm ready for any challenge that comes my way.
Wow, apparently you look very confident. I like that about you, Goku. But this time, you won't have it easy at all. At that moment, Zeno-Sama would face Goku, telling him the first test, which consists of defeating two gods of destruction together, chosen by Daishinken. Goku would be a little surprised.
That's practically impossible for me right now.
I never said it'd be something simple. Daishinken, please choose the two destroyer gods. Daishinken would observe all the universes, choosing the gods of universe 6 and 11, so the gods Champa and Varmuth would have to face Son Goku.
Fighting Mr. Champa and Mr. Varmuth together would be very difficult. I don't think I could do it.
Don't trust them. They are, Goku. All the destroyer gods have surprising power. Not because they have that appearance. They're stronger than the others.
Okay, so you'll fight with them.
At that time, the Daishinken would send a statement to the god Varmuth and Champa to go to the kingdom of all. Meanwhile, we can all see the Prince Saiyan training very hard, accompanied by his destroyer god.
We can't stay behind Son Goku. We must become much more powerful.
That's right. That insect is a low-class Saiyan. I won't let him surpass me. Returning to the temple of Zeno-Sama, Goku was meditating, knowing that the opponents they would have would not be easy at all.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to accept Zeno-Sama's proposal. Those gods fighting together could kill me if they wanted to.
At that moment, Zeno-Sama and Daishinken would have gone out to see how the restoration of the temple was going. However, Akumo would appear in the Kingdom of All. Goku would be surprised to see him.
So you're the guy who watched me from afar when I was appointed guardian of Zeno-Sama. You're right, Saiyan. You left me surprised to see how Zeno-Sama chose you as his guardian. I could see, but this was not my plan. I just wanted a new tournament. Yes, I heard everything.
Akumo would say to himself.
Maybe if I kill him or leave him very injured, he'll withdraw and never come back. Since he's only mortal, it shouldn't be difficult. What happened? You kept quiet. You weren't informed of the dangers that can occur when being Zeno-Sama's guardian? Not at all. Just some, but if I get stronger, I'll try. Akumo would say, I thought it would work, but this guy just wants to get stronger. I understand, so you're just looking for more power. That's right. It's all I want, and become as powerful as Zeno-Sama. Akumo would say, I don't know why I worry so much. This capable guy who won't even be able to pass the tests. Akumo would disappear from the place without saying a word. However, at that precise moment, the gods Champa and Vermouth would arrive at the kingdom, completely emanating an extremely incredible power. Vermouth and Champa at that moment had released a great part of their power, with which they were going to confront Son Goku. While all this was happening, Akumo was observing everything next to the King of Everything. The power of that Saiyan won't be enough to face both God Destroyers. With his current power, I agree with you, Akumo, but Son Goku's power has always surprised us, so we can't underestimate it. Instantly, Champa with a great sphere of energy would create a great explosion all over the place, which at that moment, Vermouth would take advantage of the smoke curtain to rush towards Goku, who would quickly access the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, with which he would begin to fight against Vermouth. However, he was not able to do almost anything because the difference of powers was overwhelming. Zeno-Sama, that Saiyan's not worthy to be your new guardian. I, as a being of great power, I offer you to give you a divine protection. You better let me watch the fight or else I'll never choose you. Akumo at that moment would walk away, observing all the combat. Goku was receiving a beating from both gods, who would even begin to humiliate him. Destructive Rain! At that moment, hundreds of energy arrows began to massacre the whole body of Goku, who was not able to do anything because the damage was of an overwhelming level. His screams could be heard throughout the entire kingdom of everything. That Saiyan won't be able to do anything anymore. He's done for. Compared to us, a mortal, you're a powerful warrior, but you still have a long way to go before you face us who are gods. Vermouth at that moment would throw a few energy spheres, which Goku would dodge with great ease. That's right, instantly, Goku had managed to activate the Ultra Instinct again, leaving all those present surprised, as the power that came out this time was much greater than before. At the time, Goku would increase a large part of all his power, with which he had accessed the perfect Ultra Instinct. Akumo would stand up quickly and would put a very serious look. This can't be happening. You guys never informed me that this Saiyan possessed the power beyond a god. Of course we informed you, but since they're more mortals, you never took it into account, since you referred to them as simple worms from the other universes. Damn it. If that bastard manages to master all the power of the Ultra Instinct, those two gods won't be able to defeat him. The Ultra Instinct won't be enough to defeat us. Now, we'll finish you right now. Vermouth together with Champa would increase their power to the maximum, with which instantly they caused devastation all over the place. Even their auras were rising to the sky in a terrifying way. However, Goku was observing everything with a serious look, and in the same way, he would return to observe Akumo, since he felt the hostility of his ki. So you've been responsible for all this. Do I want to fight you? Goku had exclaimed telepathically with Akumo, who was equally surprised to know that Goku knew his plan completely from the beginning. At that moment, Goku would dodge multiple blows from both gods without any difficulty. Goku at that moment would stretch one of his hands, creating a large slingshot of energy, with which would make them separate at the time. Goku with his great speed, hundreds of blows in vital points. He was able to knock out Champa, who had much lower power than Vermouth. At the moment of Vermouth reacted, he would notice how Goku had knocked out Champa in a matter of seconds. Vermouth would become enraged, destroying everything around him. Even some planets were affected by such excess energy. However, despite increasing a large part of his power, it was not enough compared to the level of Goku. What do you mean by Son Goku being easily defeated? As I told you, that Saiyan has been able to come out victorious despite having zero chances. Akumo wouldn't say anything, but was furious, being humiliated by a simple Saiyan and without having the need to engage in combat. Vermouth, at the end of raising all his power, had launched himself against Goku, who, with his unbreakable defense, was able to stop Vermouth's blow without any difficulty. Now you're not at my level. You'll never be able to overcome my instincts.
Goku would say to Vermouth to crash into a large rock which would be out of combat. Goku at that moment would approach Zeno-Sama. Zeno, I'm ready to become your new guardian. I'll protect you even with my life. No, Zeno-Sama, you can't protect by a mere mortal. Be silent, Akumo. My friend Goku proved to be powerful enough to undergo the great Daishinkan training and become my guardian. But Lord, such positions are only for high-ranking divine beings. I am the king of all, so what I say is done. I'll return, and I promise to defeat you, Saiyan, so you had better become a more powerful warrior, for my power is no match for the power of mere gods. At that moment, Akumo would open a portal with which he would arrive to his world where Leviathan would be waiting for him. What happened? Did your plan work out the way you wanted it to? Get out of here. I swear that I'll form part of the whole kingdom, even if I have to end the life of that Saiyan with my own hands. Meanwhile, Vermouth and Champa would return to their universes, which would undergo a great training since they couldn't stand the idea of being humiliated by a simple Saiyan. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Goku would begin with his new great training with the High Priest. I'm ready, Master. I plan to overcome all my limits and be worthy to protect my friend. I'm very happy to know that you'll make an effort in this great training, but to surpass my training, you'll need much more than just determination. Goku at the moment would say about something, but he wasn't able to say it. As a big mouthful of blood would spit out, he'd fall to the ground very badly wounded. To be the guardian of Zeno-Sama, he must always have his guard up, since we don't know when a being will attack him. That hurt me. I thought this was just a training. Of course it's only training. Otherwise I would have ended his life with a single blow. Goku at that moment would become much more serious, knowing that if he didn't take this training seriously, he would have the possibility of dying. Goku would access the imperfect Ultra Instinct, with which he rushed against Daishinkan, who without any problem was able to dodge each of his fists. However, the collisions of his fists gave much to think about. That is, his fists, despite colliding, Goku resulted with multiple wounds. Instantly, Daishinkan, with one of his fingers, was able to send to a crash near a nearby planet, destroying it completely. Goku would recover from that blow, and at a great speed, he rushed against that Daishinkan, who would end the training for the day. Even though he's able to activate a part of the Ultra Instinct, you still think at the moment of attacking, and that slows down your speed considerably. I don't know how to activate the perfect Ultra Instinct. I'm only able to do it when I feel cornered. Meanwhile, on one of Akumo's planets, you could see how he was causing havoc all over the place. That's right, the powerful god Akumo was undergoing difficult training, with which he wanted to end the life of Son Goku in his next encounter. While Akumo increased his power, he remembered that Son Goku was going to obtain the position for which he always trained. I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I won't let a dirty monkey take what always belonged to me! Meanwhile, on Beerus' planet, he also increased his power, being able to access a new transformation, with which he was able to give Whis a bit of fight. Mr. Beerus, the power you have in your new transformation's incredible. I can't believe it! You're able to kill all the gods without any problem. I'd like to have a confrontation with Goku, after a few years, to prove who of the two is more powerful. Whis and Beerus at that moment would go to planet Earth, finding only Vegeta, who would explain to them that Kakarot had left to the Kingdom of Everything. Both deities were very surprised. The only thing comforting is to know that Goku is Zeno-Sama's best friend, so I don't think anything bad will happen. But tell me, Mr. Beerus, what brings you here? I can see that your power has increased in a surprising way. Vegeta, do you feel ready to test my new power? Mr. Beerus, you're not the only one who's increased his power, since I've done the same. So let's begin! Vegeta at the moment would access the Super Saiyan Blue, with which he would rush against Beerus, starting to have a very even battle, moving all over Universe 7. Well, it seems that Mr. Vegeta has also increased his power in a great way. That is surprising. But it wouldn't be enough for the new power of Beerus, who, despite not being transformed, was able to leave Vegeta badly wounded. You've increased your power in an amazing way, but you still don't have the necessary power to face me completely. It seems I have no choice. I wanted to use this transformation against Kakarot's insect, but you leave me no choice, Beerus. What the hell are you saying? Are you giving me to understand that you have more power? Vegeta would begin to raise his power in an amazing way, which would even push Whis back a little bit. What
kind of training has Mr. Vegeta done? His power is of another level. I can even say that it's above most of the gods. Vegeta at that moment of a great purple aura could be seen with his new transformation, which would leave both deities surprised for the power that he gave off. Vegeta, how the hell did you get all that power? Can't believe it. Vegeta, without saying a word, was able to send Beerus flying, which would be dragged down a few mountains because the power of Vegeta's blow had been overwhelming. Oh my, thought you had your guard up, that's why I attacked you. Mr. Vegeta's power had been at an incredible speed. Mr. Beerus did have his defense up, but the speed was so fast that he completely overcame him. Beerus would instantly recover from that blow, raising a great part of his power, beginning to exchange blows with Vegeta. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Goku this time was already able to access the perfect Ultra Instinct at will. That's right, with the Daishinkan training, he was able to dominate all his internal ki. Master, I owe you all this, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have reached this power. Mr. Goku, the power you achieved is amazing. Apparently, you're able to access the next test. What's the next test, Master? You must enter the Forbidden World of the Guardians. Forbidden World? When you leave that world, your senses, power, everything in general, will multiply in a surprising way. But it will not be easy to leave since there are beings with incredible powers. Do you want to do it? Of course I do, Daishinkan-sama. I want to break my limits and become more and more powerful. Daishinkan in that instant, with his great power, would form a great portal of purple color, by which Goku in the moment of entering would feel great pressure in his body, but Goku in the same way would release the pressure that the Ultra Instinct exerted, neutralizing it completely. How strange this place is. I feel my body a little heavier even though I've released my pressure. Meanwhile with Akumo, that god would continue his rigorous training in the same way. I swear that I'll end the life of that wretched monkey, and I'll become the new guardian of Zeno-Sama. Returning to the battle between Vegeta and Beerus, both were badly wounded. However, Beerus was not using all his power. Vegeta, with my current power, I'm not able to defeat you, but how about this? Beerus at that moment began to raise his power in a surprising way, which even made the Prince of the Saiyans retreat due to the power he was releasing. Beerus would continue to increase his power in an unrealistic way. So much was the power he was raising, he had even sent the Prince of the Saiyans flying to a planet, destroying it with the impact of his fall. Ouch, that hurt me, damn Beerus. The power he's raising, I can't believe it. At the moment, from a gigantic explosion of destructive energy, Beerus had shown his combat state. That's right, Beerus had transcended to what goes beyond a simple god. Vegeta, without being able to observe the moments of Beerus, would receive hundreds of blows, which made him fall to the ground badly injured. But the Prince of the Saiyans would not stay behind since he increased his power much more, to face the more powerful god of all. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Goku had entered the Forbidden World, but at the moment, a great attack was able to make him bleed. Despite having activated his Ultra Instinct, the speed of that subject had been incredible. Show yourself, otherwise you won't be able to defeat me. Goku would feel how a guy would approach from behind at a great speed, which Goku would quickly turn around, but at that moment, an incredible pressure would fall on Goku's body, as the guy would grab his shoulder. Did you think I didn't have the courage to attack you head on? You're a mere mortal. I thought I would face a priest, not a simple scum like you. Goku, with much effort, would be able to move, since the pressure of that warrior even made him slow. Instantly, Goku would create a small explosion, forming a small slingshot of energy in one of his hands. Goku would take a little distance. What the hell's going on? The power of that bastard's amazing. I'm not able to assimilate it. That warrior would begin to wreak havoc all over the place, as fireballs, energy, and everything fell near Goku, who began to look very hurt. Show yourself, miserable mortal. I haven't had fun like this for millions of years. I want to keep playing with you. I have never been abandoned in a battle, but if I don't, this wretch will end my life. I have no other alternative. Goku at the moment would increase his power to the maximum in his Ultra Instinct, with which he would throw a powerful attack towards the subject that, without any problem, would make him disappear. But when forming a curtain of smoke, Goku would leave the place at an incredible speed, finding a small cave to take refuge. This hurts. It hurts a lot. The attacks of that wretch have caused me incredible damage. I'm not able to assimilate him.
Goku at that moment would be unconscious because his body and likewise all his energy veins were very damaged, so he had to rest for a few days. Meanwhile, Daishenka was watching everything that happened. Mr. Goku has not had the best luck. He met the second most powerful being of that planet at the moment he arrived. Daishenka, do you think it was the perfect time to send my friend Goku to that place? I'm sure, sir. Goku's power has to experience death up close, to be able to become much more powerful. I trust him. Alright, Daishenka, but from my point of view, it was too soon. At that moment, an incredible roar would be felt throughout the whole kingdom. That's right, the collision of one of Vegeta's blows against Beerus had reached the palace of Zeno-Sama. It seems that the power of Beerus has increased in an incredible way, but the power of Lord Vegeta is not far behind. Beerus and Vegeta were exchanging blows at an astonishing speed. That's right, the power of both beings was incredible. Meanwhile, with Akumo, the god had gone to the territory of goddess Leviathan. Leviathan, come out immediately, I need to talk to you. At that moment, a red aura spread through Leviathan's territory. That's right, she would come out furiously to receive Akumo. I'm not one of your servants for you to treat me that way. You know that I'm even more powerful than you, so don't force me to end your life. I'm sorry. Since my defeat with that Saiyan, I haven't been able to recover. I apologize. Leviathan would disappear, his incredible pressure, allowing Akumo to move freely. At that moment, Akumo would begin to explain his whole plan that he wished to become Zeno-Sama's new guardian. But tell me, how do you plan to do that? I want you to help me end the life of that Saiyan and make this all look like a mistake. We have known each other since we were both simple gods. Now, we're supreme gods. And what do I get? I promise, and I give you my word, that when I become the guardian of Zeno-Sama, I'll give you a place in the kingdom of everything. You know I'm not interested in being part of the kingdom of everything. The kingdom of my whole family is comparable to the kingdom of the Zen family. How about I offer you the blood of the sealed beast god? That's impossible. You can't get the blood of the beast god. Even though it's sealed, it's capable of killing the king of everything. For that, I will use the power of the Supreme Guardian, which will be granted to me if I become the guardian of Zeno-Sama. Here, both of us will benefit. Alright, Akumo. I trust you, and I will help you end the life of that Saiyan. This is how both put in motion the plan to end the life of Son Goku. Meanwhile, at the great battle of both warriors, their powers were being released in an incredible way, being so much that even the power would begin to destroy some planets of the other universes. Beerus, to realize this, would give a big smile. Vegeta, you're an incredible warrior, but to me, you still need much more power. Beerus, at that moment, as if it were lightning, began to teach more towards the Prince of the Saiyans. At the beginning of connecting a big blow, he was able to leave him out of combat. Whis, please repair all the damage caused in battle. As you command, Mr. Beerus, I will begin to restore everything right now. At that moment, Whis, with his great power, would begin to restore everything destroyed by both warriors, restoring each one of the planets of the other universes. Well, it seems that Whis has also increased his battle level. This will be interesting. Meanwhile, with Goku, he had already completely recovered, and that he'd obtained a powerful Zenkai, with which he was able to move freely. That guy's power was incredible. Even though I'm 100% recovered, I have to increase my power. Goku at that moment would begin to end the lives of multiple creatures that were in his path, in order to become much more powerful. However, instantly he would run into a being of appearance to that of Frieza, but the power he gave off was much greater. This being seems to be a warrior of great power. I plan to defeat him and have much more experience to be able to get out of this place. Goku would quickly move towards that warrior, who without moving would give a great scream, releasing an overwhelming pressure of a blood-red color, which would even cut off Goku's breath. What was happening? I can't breathe. Goku would be sent flying with a great blow, which would make him fall to the ground a little injured. You're a coward, Saiyan. I thought your kind always attacked head-on. You're a scumbag. Archon, at that moment annoyed, would grant Goku a rain of blows, which Goku again was not able to dodge, falling to the ground very badly injured. Archon would throw a dragon attack, which Goku was able to dodge, but the explosion would send him flying hundreds of meters back. Goku would stand up with a very serious look. I'll not run away again. I'm Zeno-Sama's guardian lock. I have to have the power to defeat these guys. Goku, much more focused, began to direct thousands of blows, which Archon dodged with extreme ease, because the speed of Goku compared to Archon was very slow.
That's right, Archon was treating Goku as if he was a simple child. Archon at the time increased his power a little more, and with a great lightning had sent him to fly. Now I must admit that you have great power, but it's not enough to finish me off. Goku swallowed his pride and again left nothing, noticing how Archon had turned his back on him. I swear I'll remember this humiliation. I'll not let this happen. Goku would reach his shelter where he would fall again, but this time lightning would come out of his whole body, returning to his base state very badly wounded. Damn, this time I seem to have exceeded the power I could use. Meanwhile, Leviathan, together with Akumo, had gone to the realm of everything, being both surprised to learn that Goku had been sent to the Forbidden World. But Daishinken-sama, is that the palace for beings that are capable of defeating all the gods at once? That's right, but I trust my disciple because every time there seems to be nothing to do, Son Goku always manages to become much more powerful. Even though he's a prodigy, going to that place on his own is impossible. He won't be able to make it out alive. So I offer myself to be the new guardian of the great Zeno-Sama. Apparently you haven't understood anything at all. Son Goku will be able to get out of that place alive, something that you could never do. My friend Goku has much more ability than you, even if it's hard for you to accept it. But that's okay. If my friend Goku doesn't come back alive, which I doubt, you'll be summoned as my new guardian. Akumo, a little annoyed, would say absolutely nothing. Understood, great Zeno-Sama. We're sorry for the loss of time. We are leaving. Both gods would leave their respective planets, which Akumo, by the time they arrived, was destroying everything around them. Damn you, Zeno-Sama! You're capable of comparing me to a mere mortal! Akumo, please, calm down. We know that you will be a new great guardian of the great Zeno-Sama. Even though I am, I can't help but feel humiliated. But compared to that damn monkey, I want to finish that worm off myself. But that's impossible for us, since even we, who are compared to become supreme gods, would die trying to do it. Damn monkey, I'd love to see you suffer and be defeated to death. Meanwhile with Goku, this time his whole body had completely adapted to the power which he had fought, even being able to access phase 3 of the Ultra Instinct, which with he had an amazing power. However, he would quickly return to the Ultra Instinct. I'll not call the attention of all the others. I'll be able to finish with each being. Without the other powerful beings noticing me, Goku at that moment would begin to fly around the place. At the moment, he would find Ezekiel, which almost ended his life. Ezekiel, without noticing, would be sent to fly to the sky. The blow had been so powerful that it would make him crawl. That hurt me. Who was the damned one who wants to die? Ezekiel would be surprised to realize that Goku had been the guy that connected such a sneak attack on him. Damn monkey, last time you escaped me and apparently you have raised your power, but this time I'll finish you without leaving any trace of you. Ezekiel would raise his power greatly and at that moment would throw a great sphere of energy to the sky, which covered a part of the place. Now no matter where you go, you won't be able to escape me. I'll tear you to pieces, insect. Goku at that same time would raise his power to the maximum in his Ultra Instinct, with which he would begin to exchange blows with Ezekiel at an incredible speed, but unlike before, this time Ezekiel's arms were trembling because of the great strength of Goku. How is this possible? It's only been 1 month. You couldn't raise your power like this. You don't know how much power I have now, and it was all to finish you. That damned Archon. Both of you humiliated me. Goku at that instant would create a great lightning technique which would pierce Ezekiel's body, spitting large amounts of blood. You putting up your barrier, you dug your grave. Since there's nothing and no one will be able to help you. I'm not easily defeated yet. I am the being that has the power beyond an angel. Will not be defeated so easily. Ezekiel began to raise his power to the maximum, even taking his body to the limit to be able to face Goku, who was a little amazed at the power Ezekiel was releasing. An incredible power was releasing all of the power of Ezekiel, who at the instant was taking his power to the limit. After only 3 minutes, he had created a great explosion with which he was able to even appear with a suit of armor. With this armor, you won't be able to do anything against me, since it was the power to even receive attacks from a galactic level high priest. Ezekiel, at a superhuman speed, would connect a blow to Goku, which by the extreme power had sent him to fly to a faraway place, being dragged by a few mountains. However, without wasting time, would throw a great sphere of massive destruction, with which would form a great chaos all over the place. Meanwhile, in a faraway place, Archon had been interested in the battle to field two great powers.
Well, but this power is incredible. It seems that Ezekiel is fighting with someone very powerful.
When all the chaos dissipated, Goku could be seen with a few wounds, but at that moment, a great amount of blood would come out of his body. That hurt me. The power of that bastard has increased in an overwhelming way. I won't be able to do anything with my Ultra Instinct. Ezekiel would throw himself to the attack again, but a great power would make him move away. That's right, Goku was accessing the Super Saiyan Phase 3, with which his power seemed to have no limit. Goku, with a great explosion, would appear with his transformation, staring at him. I'm sorry for making you wait. I'm usually too confident, but now I'm gonna finish you in your crappy armor. Ezekiel, without being able to say anything, would be hit hundreds of times, as Goku's speed had shot up in an impressive way, being able to even destroy all the armor that surrounded Ezekiel.
This can't be. This armor has a resistance that someone could hardly reach.
Goku, without holding back, began to massacre that guy, with which, after only 5 minutes, he was in terrible condition. That's right, he had not been able to keep up with Goku, who was on this occasion had surpassed his power by hundreds of times. You made me taste defeat in my worst humiliation, but thanks to you, I've been able to become much more powerful. I thank you. Now die!
No. No matter how much power you have, you'll never be able to defeat Nita. He's the boss of this world and his power knows no limits.
When I have him in front of me, I'll be able to end his life. But now you'll go to the other world. Heavenly Dragon! In that instant, a great purple dragon disintegrated Ezekiel. However, in the same way, an incredible explosion was created, which would leave absolutely nothing of that powerful warrior. Instantly, Archon would arrive at the battlefield, being very surprised to recognize the Saiyan and realize that he had been able to end the life of Ezekiel.
This is incredible. I never thought that a Super Saiyan would be able to end the life of one of us. But now I, the second most powerful god of this world, will end you.
That's what I want to see. You saved me the trouble of going after you, so I can kill you here and now. Since you two were the beings that were not satisfied with defeating me, you humiliated me, and I'll return that humiliation to you. Goku began to exchange blows with Archon. However, Archon was not far behind. Archon's power was far superior to Ezekiel's, as he was able to cope with his power. Archon, with his tail, was able to give him a big blow, sending him to a nearby planet, which would be destroyed by the power. Goku, without wasting time, would use his speed to place himself behind Archon and throw a great attack, which would turn him into ashes. However, the power of Archon was still felt all over the place, suddenly appearing in front of Goku with a great attack, which left him a little wounded. How's this possible? I turned you to mere ashes. You shouldn't have the power to regenerate yourself.
Gods like us do not die so easily. Since our power is gigantic, we possess thousands of techniques that help us withstand attacks of that caliber.
Archon at that moment began to give a beating to Goku, who on this occasion was not able to do anything. Before such a frantic attack, meanwhile, Daishenki was watching everything that had happened.
Well, it seems that I have to get Mr. Goku out of that place, otherwise he'll die. But being able to face Archon with that power is worthy of becoming the new guardian of Zeno-Sama.
On the other hand, Akumo and Leviathan were both training, but despite Leviathan being a woman, she was not able to leave Akumo, who was a powerful god, in terrible condition.
I don't know how the hell your fists have so much power. Your blows are capable of destroying most of my bones.
The power I possess is not an ordinary power, since I use the same destructive and angelic energy, giving much more power to my blows.
Destructive and angelic energy together? Are you able to unite two energies that are completely different? I thought that was impossible.
For me, the most powerful woman of all the multiverses, nothing is impossible. But I will personally take care of helping you so that you can give me the blood of the legendary beast god.
That's for sure. I'll become the new guardian of Zeno-Sama, and with that, I'll be able to access the forbidden territories where the beast god is imprisoned.
I trust you, Akumo, since that's the only reason I am collaborating with you. Both gods would continue training in an incredible way, so much so that Akumo's power was increasing in an unreal way. Going back to Archon and Goku's battle, Archon had been able to take the victory, being with a few wounds in front of Goku.
Saiyan, you're a really powerful warrior, but you still need to train more. But I will end your life because if you have achieved all that power in this short period of time, you are a dangerous being.
You turned out much more powerful than expected, and I thought that with my Super Saiyan 3 transformation, I'd be able to defeat you, but it seems that I'll have to take my body to the limit.
All of Goku's power would begin to rise in an incredible way. All his veins were transporting twice as much energy as normal, making Goku's body obtain an incredible resistance. At the moment, Goku would create an incredible explosion, from which only the silhouette of an Ozaru would be observed. And at the moment, Goku who was ascending a transformation never seen before, being even able to break the barriers of that world, feeling his power for all the multiverses of the outside world.
But how was Lord Goku able to destroy all the barriers of that place? This is incredible. Only the Beast God had been able to achieve such a feat.
In the bodies where both gods were training, an incredible pressure would fall over their bodies, not allowing them to move with difficulty. Leviathan at that moment would raise a great part of her power, with which would be able to stand up, but at that moment an incredible roar would resonate through the multiverses, being able to once again put it against the ground.
This power, it can't be. It's the power of that damn Saiyan. But how did he get all that power in such a short time? This must be a damn joke.
The Saiyan's power was increasing in an incredible way. If we want Akumo to take over the Guardian's position, we must take the training to a new level. Archon, who had received such sonic power a few meters away, would be sent flying through some planets, crossing them completely. At the moment, from an incredible megaversal explosion, one could observe Goku, who had an opposing silver fur, instantly opening his eyes. A great pressure would be perceived by all the beings in that place, even being perceived by Nita.
It seems that a worthwhile being has come to this place, but even if he has all that power, he won't be able to do anything against my demonic power.
Goku at once, without holding back in the slightest, would be able to connect several blows throughout the body of Archon, which, despite not seeming to be powerful blows, the damage in the sea of energy was incredible, so much so that he had blocked all the flow of internal energy.
Damn, Saiyan! How could you block my power? That's impossible!
At the level I'm at now, nothing's impossible. I'm capable of finishing you just by thinking about it.
Archon, as he was about to say something, would be blown away by the pressure of Goku's eyes, which released a powerful blast of air.
When did I allow you to say something? You're not allowed to speak without my authorization.
Archon, with that humiliation, did not want to stay, so he raised his power to the maximum. Even his body and soul was compromised, and all that bestial increase of energy. At the moment, both would begin to exchange blows, which Goku was able to dodge effortlessly. Daishoken, who was watching everything that happened, would be very surprised to realize that Goku was treating Archon as a simple child.
Archon's the most powerful warrior in this world. I can't believe that Goku's capable of beating him up as if he were a piece of trash next to him.
What Daishoken didn't know was that Nita was the most powerful being in that world, who had never made himself known. Only the Beast God had been able to face him, being able to defeat him, so he never appeared again in that world, but the other warriors knew of his existence. Meanwhile, with both gods, they had entered a secret room in the kingdom of Leviathan, which allowed them to raise their power in an amazing way, since the gravity was even extreme for kings of the whole world.
Leviathan, you're crazy. I asked for training, but I don't want to die in this place. I'm not even able to move. This is crazy.
That Saiyan, I'm sure, would be able to handle all this pressure. Are you going to let that Saiyan take over your position as Guardian Angel? Akumo, annoyed, would release a great crimson pressure, which he was able to diminish with a little pressure of his body, not being enough to move completely.
Damn Saiyan, and I swear on my life I'll take your worthless life with my own hands.
The great training of both would begin, which was a very complicated training for Akumo, who had never trained in a place like this. Unlike Leviathan, meanwhile returning to the battle of both warriors, Archon was on the ground spitting large amounts of blood because his body could not withstand the excess of energy.
This must be a damn joke. How a simple Saiyan was able to defeat me.
I'm not a simple Saiyan. I'm the most powerful Saiyan of all the existing universes and multiverses, so nothing and no one will be able to do anything against me.
Goku in that instant, with his outstretched hand, would throw a great sphere of energy with which he would turn the second most powerful god of that place into simple dust.
I finally fished with the most powerful being of this place. Now I must be able to get out of this damn place.
However, at that very moment, an incredible power would even cut Goku's breath. In the same way, cut every part of his body would appear. At the moment of appearing, a great power would form, and they would unite, forming one. A great explosion would be created, and an atomic power would be directed towards Goku, who, with the great pressure that fell on his body, was not able to move freely.
Damn it, Saiyan!
A powerful attack would be launched to counteract all the power of that guy. The clash of the attacks was bestial, but at that moment, both attacks would explode and Goku would be sent flying, while the being would be covered in a lightning armor. Daishiken, who was watching everything that happened, would be astonished, not having the knowledge that such a being existed in that place.
This is bad. The power of that warrior is even greater than the power of the king in his combat form. This can't be happening.
At that moment, a powerful pressure of a blue light color would fall on the whole body of Goku, who this time would feel overwhelmed by all that pressure.
You're a powerful being, apparently, since my celestial ray pressure is not able to bend you. How interesting. Let's see what you can do with it.
At that moment, the pressure of Nita would increase enormously. Even everything around him would be destroyed. However, in the middle of all that chaos, a gigantic Ozaru in the same way would give strong roars, beginning to neutralize all the power of Nita. Both warriors had released their power to the maximum, with which they distorted the entire dimension. Instantly, it could be seen how both warriors had launched one against the other with great aggressiveness. However, with each exchange of blows, Goku's body was expelling large amounts of blood because the blows of that warrior were unmatched. He had never felt a power of that level. At the time, Goku would be seen flying from a great blow being sent to a planet, destroying it entirely.
You're a very powerful being, apart from the beast god. I never thought that someone would have the necessary power to face me.
Ouch, your blows hurt too much, but I won't let you finish me off. Dragon Goku!
A great dragon of silver color had been directed towards Nita, with which only one of its hands was able to counter it completely. Nevertheless, behind Nita, a great attack in form of flower was approaching to this one to an incredible speed, being so much that the power that gave off was unreal. At the moment of a great explosion would be observed, with which it had been able to cause a great damage, even almost the death.
That was enough. I'm sure I finished that wretch.
However, like a lightning, he would stand in front of Goku, starting to massacre him completely, cutting each of his limbs and even torturing his whole body. At the moment, he would create a gigantic explosion, with which Goku would fall to the ground very badly wounded.
This hurts a lot. I'm not able to do anything against that guy.
Nita, not caring about the state Goku was in, had decided to throw a great power at him, with which he was able to pulverize him. As the attack was about to hit Goku, he would be able to go deep into a spiritual sea of energy, observing a being identical to him.
My son, there's no time, so get the power of the Omni Saiyan and be able to defeat that guy, so that you become the guardian of a king of everything.
Father, is that you?
You've grown up a lot, my little Kakarot. I hope to see you again soon.
At that moment, all the power of Bardock would enter the body of Goku, which released an overwhelming power which was able to disintegrate all the power of Nita. And also, Nita would be very surprised by all the power that the body of Goku was releasing. That's right, at that moment, the power of Goku did not lose against the power of a king of all in its combat form. And it kept growing and growing as if his power had no limit from the great explosion. It was possible to observe Goku, who had reached a new state. Even some marks would appear on his forehead. Nita, who observed these marks, would be a little surprised to realize this warrior was able to take his divinity to a state beyond a king of all.
I must reciprocate that power, so I'll use all my power in the same way.
Nita at that moment would begin to raise his power in an overwhelming way, with which even seemed to have no limit, because all the power that he was releasing could not be appreciated with accuracy, only destruction and chaos all around him.
I can't believe it. Mr. Goku's power has even surpassed my power with that transformation. This is incredible.
Die! What's wrong? Did something bad happen to my friend Goku?
Of course not, my lord. On the contrary, Lord Goku's power has been able to reach a new level, with which he was worthy of being your supreme guardian. Nukita, at that moment, he had been able to increase the power to the maximum, with which a few lightning bolts would spread all over the battlefield. I'm sorry for the wait, Saiyan, but I'm not used to access my whole powerful state, since only one person made me use it. Goku, with a serious look, would say absolutely nothing, but in an instant, Nukita would give him a strong blow in the face of Goku, which would not be sent to fly. He had only moved his face a few centimeters, unlike Nukita, which, being so close to Goku, had received a powerful blow which would send him crashing to a planet which would be destroyed with a simple impact of his body. The power of Goku was being overwhelming. Nukita would spit blood because that blow caused him great damage, which was hard to believe even for him. Nukita would instantly pounce against Goku, and the two would begin to exchange thousands of blows at overwhelming speeds. Meanwhile, in the training of Akumo and Leviathan, both supreme gods had been able to take their bodies to their limit, with which they were able to even break the barrier of a normal priest. Since the power they had achieved was incredible, especially the power of Akumo, since his grudge against Goku would help him to break all his limits. With this power, I'll be able to defeat this miserable mortal. He'll regret having been born and having crossed my path. With the power you possess now, you would even be able to defeat Daishenkin with a little difficulty, but your power is much greater than that of that priest. I know that, Leviathan. Now we just have to wait for that miserable Saiyan to get out of that place once and for all. Meanwhile, with the battle of both warriors, the power they released was overwhelming because everything in their path seemed to disappear. Even the planets disintegrated at each clash of their fists. But the most physically injured was Nukita, because at that precise moment, Goku had spit large amounts of blood, implying that he was not able to dominate all that power. Your power is amazing, but apparently your body's not able to assimilate all that monstrous power. So I just have to make time to finish you. You're very smart, but before that happens, I'll end your existence. Goku threw himself against Nukita despite feeling that his body was exploding. Because all that moment, all the veins of his heart seemed to collapse. Despite this, Goku would be able to connect his last and definitive blow to Nukita. Divine Dragon God Strike! Die! A great dragon with a colossal power was heading against Nukita, who, in spite of releasing a great part of all his power, would not do anything. This time, this incredible dragon would be able to disintegrate him completely, until turning him into simple atoms. At that moment of Nukita's death, the whole place where they were was being destroyed. That's right, Nukita, having such a great power, was in charge of providing power for all the three-dimensional space to exist. At the moment of death, everything around him would be destroyed. It's time to go back, because this whole place will disappear. At that moment, a great portal would make Goku return to the realm of everything again. But at the moment of arrival, Goku would fall out of combat due to the excessive energy he had used. It's normal that you were knocked out. I even find it surprising that you defeated that powerful being who even possessed the great Zeno-Sama. A few days would pass quickly, in which all of Goku's internal system was recovering little by little, since the power condensed in every vein of energy had been so brutal that even the body of Supreme Level Priest would have exploded into pieces. All the gods and angels in about 1 week, all should be gathered here in the Kingdom of Everything, since the promotion of the new Guardian of the King of Everything will be given. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, Vegeta was training so as not to fall behind Kakarot, while Beerus did not want the Prince of the Saiyans to be compared to his new power. Vegeta, you have a great potential, but you'll need much more effort to be able to defeat me. Don't be so confident, Beerus, since I belong to a warrior race, unlike you, so I'm sure that sooner or later I'll be able to overcome your power. Mr. Vegeta is partially right, but apparently he is not aware that Mr. Beerus also belongs to a powerful warrior race. Vegeta at that moment would be very surprised, since he didn't know that information about the God of Destruction. What race do you belong to? I've never seen another being of your race in the entire Universe 7. Only Universe 6 by your brother Champion in Universe 11. My race, millions of years ago, lay in Universe 14. But when a great war broke out between several gods, some angels took warriors from that universe, making them their disciples. That means your origin is Universe 14. That's right, I belong to Universe 14, which was destroyed by the great Zeno-Sama. That only inspires me even more, since I was able to fight against a super warrior from another universe, and even make him use his maximum power. You're right, but if you want to surpass me, it'll be impossible, because my power has no limits, just like yours, so while you become more powerful, I'll do the same. Vegeta and Beerus would both continue with their respective training until the moment when the Staff of Whis would become unlimited, receiving the great news from his father, the Great Priest. The time would pass quickly, and at the moment, all the gods of the Kingdom of Everything making a great reverence towards the most emblematic beings of all the universes. Gods and angels, today a mortal who has surpassed all our expectations ought to be assigned to the position of the great guardian of Zeno-Sama.
A mortal? I can't believe this. What mortal's powerful enough to protect the king at all?
You don't have to be surprised, God Vermouth of Universe 11, since you and Champa fought against that mortal.
Both gods at that moment would be very surprised to know who it was. Even Daishaken indicated that Goku appears a great path of ice would form around him, and even the environment would change to an icy environment, with which all the gods would release a little of their auras, but instantly, all the gods and even the angels would fall to their knees in the ground when Goku released a little of his incredible pressure.
Is that Goku's power? I can't believe it. Even though I trained tirelessly, I'm far from being on par with that incredible power. Kakarot's power has increased in an amazing way. I'm not able to describe it. His power seems to have no limit. This must be a fucking nightmare.
Gods and angels, thank you very much for your welcome. But that's right, from today I'll be the new supreme guardian of the king of everything. Goku at that moment would decrease his pressure, allowing the gods and angels to be able to move normally. At the moment, Vegeta would approach towards Kakarot.
Damn insect, how are you able to get all that incredible power? I can't believe the power you gave off now. Your power seems to be on another dimension.
How long, Vegeta? That's right, my power belongs to another dimension, and to reach this power I had to go through hundreds of trainings and even face death itself. However, at that time, an incredible pressure would be felt all over the place, leaving all the gods very surprised, with the exception of the beings of the King of Everything. That's right, Akumo together with Leviathan had arrived at the Divine Realm.
Great Zeno-Sama, that Saiyan's not worthy to be your guardian, since I can end the life of that simple mortal.
You again, Akumo. You don't have the power to stand up to my friend Goku.
No, Zeddy, don't worry. I want to hear what this damned one proposes, since he was the one who manipulated the gods Champa and Vermouth to end my life.
Damn Saiyan, I want to have the death match with you. The winner will be the one who becomes the guardian of the great Zeno-Sama.
I accept your proposal. I'll put an end to every one of your hopes. At the moment, Daishaken with his great power would create a platform in which the same way all the gods and angels would be spectators of this incredible battle that is about to approach.
Kakarot will defeat him. That power that sleeps in him is an incredible power.
Akumo at that moment, without waiting for the Great Priest to start the fight, would launch himself against Goku, who, despite being with his power at rest, was able to dodge each of his blows, being able to even hit him with a blow, which would send him to a nearby place on the platform. I thought you had much more power. Apparently I won't have to use my maximum power since you're a simple ant compared to me. Akumo, furious, would increase his power to the maximum, with which he caused havoc for all 12 universes. At the moment, Daishaken would create a great barrier so that nothing happens in the 12 universes. But he's surprised to realize that the power of Akumo had surpassed him, being impossible to contain all that destruction. Goku, in realizing this, would throw a great sphere of energy, with which he would wrap all the battlefield. My power is even greater than that of the Great Priest, so you won't be able to do anything against me. Akumo and Goku began to exchange blows, but this time, even though Akumo would use all his power, he would not be able to do anything against the Saiyan who had broken all his limits. This can't be! When did that Saiyan become so powerful? Akumo's power won't be enough, that Saiyan will pulverize it. So that's all your power? You're not even good for warmth! Goku in that instant, with just a few hits, was able to shatter his entire sea of energy, leaving him on the ground on the verge of death. Your goddess, take him away! I don't want to see them again. Inform him that I only use 5% of all my power. All the gods and angels were surprised. At the moment of leaving, Goku would be promoted to the Supreme Guardian of the Great Zeno-Sama. I promise to give my life to guard the integrity of the Great Zeno-Sama. $70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life. when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-Sama. In Zeno-Sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-Sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-Sama, my son, you've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-Sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-Sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot, it was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the cell bug, a creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time you showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving.
Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis? Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar.
Who could it be? The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
What? Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-Sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-Sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-Sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-Sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-Sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-Sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-Sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-Sama, you've failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-Sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-Sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-Sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-Sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-Sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-Sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What? This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
The shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-Sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-Sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-Sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for the survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-Sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you? We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-Sama. The battle rages in the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion.